23 and 34. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And he parted his payment and cast lots. For this first word this evening, I just want to talk from the subject. Thank God I'm free.
Hey, glory.
Thank God.
Yes, Lord.
Many of us recall the news of the mid-time murder of an innocent man in Dallas, Texas. On the night of September 6, 2018, 26-year-old accountant both of John was shot and killed in his apartment by an off-duty police patrol officer who entered into his home believing it was her home and that the rightful occupant, John, was a burglar. The headlines reminded us that this St. Lucian boy in both of John was both in need and in fact a young man with great promise of a bright future. Amber Geiger was arrested, tried, and convicted and sentenced to serve 10 years in prison for a crime with eligibility for parole in 5. Dr. Oates, upon learning of the murder, many news and social media outlets broadcast the outrage of such a tragic event. The murder of an innocent black man whose only crime was opening up the door to his own home. His friends and his family were obviously distraught and saddened and frustrated. However, at the point of sentencing, when the victim's family was given the opportunity to make remarks, both of his brothers stood up and looked at his sibling's killer across the crowded courtroom. After hearing all the evidence and hearing in detail how his innocent brother's life was cut short, he looked at her with tears in his eyes and said, I love you like I love anyone else. He says, I know that God forgives you, and I too forgive you. And he said, my only hope for you is that you develop a relationship with Jesus Christ.
Hallelujah.
And then he gave young people. He walked across that courtroom and he hugged her just before she was let off to prison. Church, if I only had a few minutes, I would tell you what forgiveness is just by telling you what it's not. You see, the reality of it is it's not easy. It runs in direct contradiction to the human instinct to protect yourself. Webster defines it as a conscious, voluntary decision to release feelings of resentment, to release feelings of anger, to release feelings of vengeance toward a person or group who caused you harm. You see, it's not easy to forgive. Whether something that was passed through the birth canal or connected to our umbilical cords. It's not something that you find on the X or the Y chromosome. You don't see it on a brain scan. See, to forgive is something that most people weren't designed to do. I had just a few more minutes. I tell you, the contrary to popular belief, forgiveness is not just simply accepting an apology. You see, sometimes the people that hurt you, sometimes the people that lied on you, sometimes the people that did you wrong are either unwilling or unable to offer you an apology. See, true forgiveness ain't about a person's worthiness. You see, forgiveness isn't something you just do with your mind, not just something you do with your mouth. But how do you understand there's something you got to do with your heart? The Bible reminds us in Luke's gospel that on a Friday night, on a hill that's called Golgotha, an innocent man was beaten, scourged, and battered by people that he just wanted salvation for. They never expressed any apology for their crimes. They never acknowledged that they was wrong. They chose to beat him up for nothing. They whooped on him for sport. Anybody else would have left those folks alone. But he made a choice. Made a choice to look past all their faults and see their needs. He made a choice. He made a choice because he understood that forgiveness is obedience to the Father. He made a choice.